Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Cincy game hunting, and it's Black Friday. Apologize, I haven't done a video in a while. I actually have like 3 of them shot for the most part, just haven't gotten around to editing them. But I figured for Black Friday, I'll skip the line and we'll put this one ahead, and I'm gonna try and release this to Sunday, which should be today if you guys are watching it. Anyway, it is Black Friday, like I said. I am severely underwhelmed by the sales that are going out in the world. Walmart looks like trash. Best Buy, I didn't see a decent good deal. I'm going to hit a couple of retail stores just to see if maybe there's something that wasn't advertised that pops up, but I'm not banking on it. It's just a very underwhelming year for Black Friday, and I'm usually a huge Black Friday shopper, so it's kind of a bummer for me. But we are going to hit one of my local shops. You guys have been watching the channel for a while. You know I love a little place called Paper Street Trading Company. It's a kind of an all-encompassing store. There's comic books and movies and games and cards and Legos, pretty much everything in that store. But it's kind of my place to go on Black Friday. There's a couple places here in Norwood that I like to go to. One of them actually closed down recently, so I can't go there anymore. But Paper Street's got a pretty good deal going on. Anything that's $50 or less or $49.99 or less is 50% off today. Anything over $50 is 25% off. So that kind of like, if people are buying consoles, they're not getting them for half off, they're getting them like 25% off, but still, that's a good deal. So I'm going to try and find some games that I haven't been able to snag, so far at retail stores. And I don't know what I'm going to find because it's a hit and miss what you're going to find inside Paper Street, but let's go check them out. All right, it worked out. We ended up picking up, I think, 5 games altogether, mostly PS5 stuff, but we also got a copy of a Switch game. And a Switch game might be actually going to my son for Christmas. I'm going to probably hold that one aside for him for Christmas. But anyway, let's get into it. First of all, the Switch game, Mario Strikers on Switch. Mario Strikers Battle League. This game's gotten reviewed terribly, but my son enjoys the Mario sports games. Tagged at $40, so this is $20. So that's a sweet spot for picking up a first-party Nintendo game for me. But yeah, Mario Strikers Battle League for $20. This one I kind of just picked up because it was so darn cheap. Goat Simulator 3. It's new. It's brand new. They only had it marked at $9.99. Oops, that's upside down. And so that's $5. I'll take a wing at it for $5. I know it's probably one of those games that's on PS Plus. I don't have PS Plus because I don't pay for the online services usually. I'll get Game Pass every once in a while just to see what's on. But yeah, Goat Simulator for $5. Why not? Here's where it gets fun. This is a game that I have not been able to find anywhere. I think Best Buy occasionally has it on sale for like $50, but I don't want to pay that much for it. So I've been kind of holding out, hoping that I'll find it used. Terminator Resistance. Now, this came out on the PS4 and the Xbox One, but they did a re-enhanced edition for the PS5. It was only $35 sticker. So what is that, like 17 something, $17.50? That's perfect. I mean, I've been trying to find this, fairly cheap, secondhand, The PS4 and the Xbox versions, I think, are about $40 a piece used. So, I mean, I'm glad to grab the PS5 version, like I said, for 17 bucks. And here's two that I've been wanting to get for cheap for a while. First one is Jedi Survivor. GameStop, when they had their big like sticker sale, when they're doing 50% off, 75% off, stuff like that, which you haven't seen yet because I haven't released that video yet, but I'm sure you guys have all seen it at your local stores. They had Jedi Survivor, the deluxe edition on Xbox for like 22 bucks. And I was like, oh, man, and I went to every store I could find and nobody had it. I wasted too much time and the online one was already out, and I didn't want to spend the extra, shipping money to get it online. I should have just put a bunch of things together and just gotten the shipping for free, but it was my own bad fault. But we got it for 20 bucks because it's marked at 40. So I'm fine. I got the PS5 version instead of the Series X version, and it's not the deluxe version, but I don't really need all the bells and whistles. It's fine. Jedi Survivor for 20 bucks. Last one, another one that I've been holding out for to get it for cheap. God of War Ragnarok. It hasn't really been on sale very much. I think the cheapest I've seen it maybe is 30, maybe 20, 30 or 40. I think most Walmart's selling for 40 right now. But it was marked at 30 for a used copy. So I got it for 15 bucks. That's why I hold out. I don't like spending big money on games, and yeah. God of War for 15 bucks. So altogether, I can't remember what the total was. I'm like, let's tally it up real quick. We got 20, 25, another 45, 60, about $77 altogether. That's pretty awesome. 5 fairly recent games for $77 combined. That's how we start off Black Friday. Now, I'm going to try and hit some more stores up. If you don't see any other video, I'll probably jump back into the game room and finish this out in there. But yeah, I'm going to try and hit some retail shops and see what we find. I'm not held down any hope, though. Like, Meijer hasn't been doing their little bin of buy one, get one games this year. So, like I said, not holding out hope. All right, as I thought, Meijer was a bust. They did have a couple games on clearance, but they weren't very good clearance. But the buy one, get one free thing, which was my go-to every year, I'll show you some video from years past. They didn't have it. I even asked the employees, like, yeah, I'm surprised we didn't have it this year. What the deal is with that is it's like all the games, as long as you pair them up in groups of 2, are $10 a piece. So it was a great deal when they had it. Now, some of the games were very cheap games in general, but it was still a great way to get some bang for your buck. So I was really bummed out about that. So, yeah, like I said, the deals just aren't there this year. I'm gonna head to Target because it's a game I know my son wants for Christmas, and I think it's half off over there. But yeah, I'm not holding out any hope for any really good revelations, but I'm glad we got to Paper Street. All right, as you guys saw on the way into Target, somebody lost their shoes. Not quite sure what happened there. Main reason going to Target was one of the games my son had on his Christmas list was actually 50% off over there. So it was half off for Kirby Return to Dreamland on the Switch. Now, if y'all remember, this is an old Wii game. I actually had this on the Wii, but he wanted this on the Switch, and that's one of the games he wanted on his Christmas list, so half off, not bad, 30 bucks. I'm fine with that. Like I said, though, most of these stores I've gone to, there's nothing in them. There's no really great sales. Nothing in my, $15 to $20 range that I spend on games. It's kind of disappointing. I mean, even if it's an older game, just put something on sale that's even older. I don't know what's going on with that, but I mean, video game sections in these stores are shrinking as it is. We're going to get into more of that in a second here when I get back to the house, but I've been kind of working on that video. I'm going to kind of splice that with this video, and we'll talk about what we're seeing here at the local stores and all the retail stores in America right now. I mean, all the big box stores like Best Buy, Target, Walmart, even a store like Meijer that is only regional to Midwest, but it's definitely like a big box store that used to have huge video game sections. So we'll get into that when we get back to the house, and we'll see you in a second.
24 hours later.
All right, guys, we are back at the house. It is the next day, and I wanted to kind of touch on something that a couple other YouTube channels have already kind of been gearing towards and talking about. Gaming Off the Grid kind of started the ball rolling with this, and they kind of started talking about how retail stores seem to be dwindling when it comes to their video game supply. And a lot of hubbub has been going on about, Walmart and Best Buy getting rid of physical media altogether. I have heard that they're possibly getting rid of DVDs and Blu-rays and music. Best Buy already got rid of music a while ago. And they're getting rid of, I guess, their DVDs and the Blu-rays pretty soon here. But from all I've heard, video games are sticking around. And I said it could be changing with the next generation of gaming consoles, which stinks, because I really honestly don't want to do an all-digital system. But it is what it is. So I'm not really going to delve into the whole what's going on in the gaming industry. I kind of just wanted to show you guys what the current things that I'm seeing at the stores compared to like when I first started the channel 2 to 3 years ago. So I got some video I pulled from my old videos, and I've got some video that I shot the other day at a couple of big box stores. We're going to show a little bit of Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and a Midwestern store called Meijer that some of you guys haven't heard of, but I have done a couple of videos about their clearance and stuff like that. But let's get into it real quick here. I want to kind of show you guys what I have been seeing. All right, here we are at Best Buy, and honestly, Best Buy is kind of one of the ones that has really been surprising me here, because I'll show you why here in a second. We walk up to this display that says Tears of the Kingdom, and all the games aren't even in the cases. They got lock boxes with pieces of paper in them. I hadn't noticed this until recently. Here's another stack. And I was like, all right, maybe it's just that end cap. No, it's pretty much all the games. Like, what is going on right now? Just pieces of paper in lock boxes. Was not expecting to see that. So yeah, we ended up wandering around for a while, and it's like the only thing that I saw was a couple of these little, like, value games that were still on the shelf, actually physically on the shelf. So I guess you take the piece of paper. Oh, by the way, somebody got mad at the screen, I think, at the kiosk. So don't know what's going on there, but somebody's got rage issues. But again, all the Switch games, and if it keeps on going, all the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and all the Xbox games are all kind of, all paper like this. And it's a lot of them are empty. As you can see here, there's a ton of empty shelves. And I mean, it's kind of sad to see. It was already sad seeing the shelves get smaller when it comes to the amount of games that are available. Here's some more physical games that were in the value bins and stuff like that. But yeah, like the shelves are pretty much like half empty when you go to these stores, and the ones that do seem to have stock in them, they're just pieces of paper. So here's the Xbox section, same deal. The only thing that looked like it was physical there was the random steelbook case that for Left 4 Dead, or whatever the newer version was called. But yeah, it's kind of depressing to see all the pieces of paper just hanging out at Best Buy. Now, all right, so here's a couple years ago at Best Buy. Honestly, it was pretty plentiful. I mean, not every game had a ton of things behind it. Like, there's only a couple copies of each game usually available, but there was a ton of games on the shelf. So, looking at the PlayStation section, you have games aplenty everywhere. Going over to the Switch section, I believe. No, this is the Xbox section. And again, there's at least one game on the shelf for everything. There's a couple of small bare spots, but they did a pretty good job of kind of filling out the shelf so that there was plenty of supply showing. And again, the games were actually in the lockboxes. I don't know why you're lockboxing pieces of paper. I mean, couldn't you just do what Toys R Us did back in the day and just put the game's picture and then have slips underneath it if you're going to do something like that? Anyway, yeah, it seems like it would cost more money to just keep printing out sheets of paper, I guess. I don't know. But look, even in the end caps back then, you had tons of games available. Like, over here, you had bins of games. It's kind of blows your mind. All right, moving on to Target. We ended up going into Target, and recently, I mean, it's gotten fairly bad in here. The sections are tiny now. I mean, this is the PlayStation section. It's already smaller than it used to be, and half the spots are empty. So, I guess that's the progress of where we're going. Go over here to the Xbox section, it's even worse. Really empty. I would say about 50% empty cases, and the rest of them are just the random games that are popular right now, I guess, that they still have stock of. At least they still have the games in the box. I've seen some Targets now that even the display item is no longer the actual game, it's just a cutout. The only thing is I have noticed is that Switch is fairly well still stocked. I mean, Nintendo's doing a good job of making sure everything's stocked. They actually have the biggest section of all of them. They do have a lot more digital stuff on the wall now, but you look at here and it's like they pretty much filled up all of the sections except for maybe one or two key spots. So, moving on to the Target section back a couple years ago. Look at this. This is just an end cap. And then you go to the PlayStation section. And this is actually post PS5, as you can see, there's some PS5 games on the wall. It is a little bit empty, but it's definitely not the gaps, and the section is much larger. So this is only probably like 2 years ago, because the PS5 hasn't been out that long. I mean, it has been 2 years, but like this was early in the PS5 life, I believe, in the Series X life. Same thing, Switch section had a couple gaps, but mostly all filled up. Like you said, you're seeing this like I'm seeing it, and it blows my mind more or less that even though they shrunk down the section for Xbox and PS5 and PS4, they still couldn't fill all the slots. Here's Xbox. Like, Xbox has always kind of been lagging a little bit when it comes to the number of things that are on the shelf. And this is the day that I actually went and bought Crash Insane Trilogy for $10. Good deal. Anyway, moving on, we're going to go on to the next store. This is Meijer. Meijer is a local retailer to the Midwest. It's kind of like a Walmart. Very similar. They sell all the same stuff. And this is going into a most recent Meijer. And it's depressing. You look at the new game section. There's like 3 games on the wall. And there's a clearance game, I guess, too. But they used to be all over the place, and I'll show you more in a second. This is the entire game section right here. All of it. They have like a rack, 3 racks of Switch going down the line here. And then at the bottom, you'll see they have a couple of Xbox and PS5 games at the very bottom. But this whole section used to be filled with games. Like, they would have a section for each system. Even the racks of accessories is like dwindled down. Like, there's nothing on the wall anymore. Fairly depressing. Yeah, it's sad to see the state of what Meijer is compared to what it used to be. I don't have a very good clip of what Meijer used to be, but here's what I have right after I show you here the PS5 and PS4 games and the Xbox. There's literally 3 of each of the PS5 and the Xbox stuff. So, but yeah, moving on to the former ones. this is what Meijer used to look like. I mean, granted, this is a little bit small. Like the displays are a little bit more sparse, but it used to be a huge glass case of what Meijer used to have on display. Look, all the games were all behind a glass case. There's like 3 sections of PlayStation, 3 sections of Nintendo, 3 sections of Xbox, and they were all stacked floor to ceiling. And that was so cool back in the day. I said, I apologize, I didn't have a better view of what it actually looked like. I couldn't find. This is like one of my earliest videos, so didn't have a lot to show you there. Walmart is the one outlier because Walmart seems to still be stocked up fully. And this is, people have been talking about Walmart's going to be getting rid of their physical games. I don't see it. Some of the stores have been getting into the smaller sections. Like they used to have big wall racks, but now there's like the small little racks in the middle. But look at all these games on the ground here. They got so many games that are they don't even have enough games for enough shelves for all the games. So they definitely are not getting rid of all their stuff. I don't know what the logic behind people saying they were going to. Here's an end cap, a ton of games, either on clearance or just they couldn't fit in the case. Yeah, Xbox games, PS5 games, PS4 games. Here's the PS4, PS5 section. Once again, another rack, almost full, a couple empty spots, but like, they do have a couple of spots open here, but look at the bottom. Tons of games. They're all over the place. And you can't tell me that they're getting rid of all their stuff because they still are stocking their games up like crazy. I think more or less the gaps there are because people were lazy and didn't want to change the placards and put games into spots where they fit on the wall. Now again, the Xbox section is usually the more depressing one because they don't really have as many physical games as everybody else does. Like they do still have some games on the bottom shelf here, but it's definitely not stacked up like the PlayStation and the and the Switch is. But yeah, even the Xbox is pretty well stocked. They've got a whole rack of games right here that are probably just the value games that they just haven't had a place to put, and there's a whole bunch more value games over the wall over here. So it is bizarre. But like, I honestly think there was more games here than there was when I went to the Walmart a couple years ago. This is a Walmart from a couple years ago. There was a lot more clearance stickers on the wall back then. But again, they're pretty well stocked on the ground, on the shelves, and on the floor of each of the shelves. You look down here, you can see on the bottom, there's some Switch games piled up on the bottom. You go around here, the end cap over here, after I look past these clearance games, and there's an end cap that has games stacked. Look at all the games over here. This is an end cap, a couple of clearance sections and a couple of value games, and they had stuff all over the place. Look at the stack on the bottom here, just below Pac-Man and all that. There's so many games just piled up down there. It is what it is. It's like I said, it's kind of depressing to me that some of the stores like Target and Meijer and even Best Buy. Best Buy is the one that surprised me the most with all the empty space and not even displaying the actual games anymore. But yeah, that's kind of the state of where we're at right now, and it's kind of a bummer. Like I said, I don't think physical games are going anywhere anytime soon. It looks like Best Buy and Walmart are not in the mode of getting rid of their games yet. I think they're still lucrative enough that they can still sell them physically and not have a problem. I can't promise you a year from now that might be the same thing, but it seems like for now we are safe, and I haven't seen any reports to tell me otherwise. Everything that I have seen that was talking about physical media going bye-bye is all movies and music. So yeah, anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this kind of hybrid video. It's a Black Friday video slash the state of retail gaming. Hope you enjoyed it, and guys, I'm going to try and get some more videos out here. I have a couple more shot. Just finding the time to get taken care of is what I'm running into right now. But hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a good holiday. And until next time, keep hunting.